Hey guys, this is Charl from GuitarSkills.com, and today I'd like to break down this Texas Blues Shuffle solo that I did. But first, before we get to that, let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered what separates people when it comes to blues guitar? On the one hand, you've got people that play the guitar, but their solos sound like scales. It kind of sounds like they don't know what they're doing. And on the other hand, you get guitar players that when they play, it just sounds like, man, that sounds amazing. That guy knows what he's doing, and his playing does not sound like scales. Now, the one thing that you can do to change that mindset that's going to allow you to sound like a proper blues guitarist and not like someone who's just, meandering up and down a scale, it's going to come down to chord tones. Now, when you play a 12-bar blues, there's essentially 3 chords in a 12-bar blues sequence. You can see that on the screen right now. You've got A7, D7, and E7. Just those 3 chords that are played in that specific sequence when it comes to the 12-bar blues. Now, when I play over an A chord, I need to know what are the notes that make up that A chord. And once I know what those notes are, I need to reference those notes in my solo. So for example, as you can see right now, the 3 notes that make up, or let's say the 4 notes that make up an A7 will be A, C sharp, E, and G. Those are the building blocks of an A7 chord. Now in the A minor pentatonic, which is the scale choice that most people will use when they play the blues over an A, there's a C note, right? But in an A7th chord, you've got a C sharp note. So there's already a clash that can happen where you play C sharp and C together over an A note. It's going to sound like this. That's definitely not a pretty sound. So what you need to do when you play the blues, and if you're playing over the A7th chord, which is our 1 chord, you need to hint at a C sharp from a C note, right? So if this is C, all right, you need to kind of hint at a C sharp note, because we know that C, a standard C over an A7, it's not going to sound good. And that's why I started the solo like this. So just by bending that C note slightly, it gives me that A7 sound. And then when we went to D7, you can see that the notes that make up D7 is D, F sharp, A, and C. Now that F sharp is very important. You can see me playing it right there. So that's why I went to this note. Really the F sharp and the C, that spells out D7th. And this time I'm not bending that C note. So can you see already in the one instance, it's okay to slightly bend that C note. But another time you want to play it straight without bending it. Well, that is when you play over a D7th chord. All right, so the solo started something like this. So that was literally just me playing a D note, because now we are in playing over a D7th chord and then playing the F sharp and the C note, because that spells out D7. So now basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of tipping my hat to the chord changes. I'm saying, well, I'm playing a solo, right? I'm focusing on what I want to do here, but I'm not ignorant of the chord changes that are happening. In fact, as they change, I'm changing the way that I'm using the scale. And because I change the way that I use the scale as I'm playing over the blues, it sounds way more musical and it doesn't sound like a scale. All right? So then after the D7th, I went back to A7 as per the 12-bar blues, and then I just played this. Each time just a C bent up slightly to that C sharp, because that's just the blues. You hint at that major third. Then I played a C sharp slightly bent to C, slightly bent to C sharp. followed by an A, and the same thing here. All right, and now we are in the final 4 bars of the 12 bar blues. So over E7 I did this. And that is kind of, coming from this chord here, like an E7 sharp 9, which is very common in blues. Stevie Ray Vaughan used it all the time. Jimi Hendrix used it all the time. In fact, it's labeled as the Hendrix chord sometimes. But when I played over that, I just did this. And then this note here is an A note, which belongs to the D7th chord again. All right, and then I had a kind of a fun turnaround. See, when I ended there, I'm going to the E note again. So if we go like this, so there's a C sharp, which belongs in A7, and then I'm going to an E note here. So now I'm moving fast because the thing is not really so much about learning the exact solo that I'm playing right now, but I'll tell you, I can get the tab if you want. It's really just to show you how I'm tipping my hat to the chord changes, and more importantly, to the notes that belong to that chord. And as a result of that, my scale doesn't sound like a scale, it sounds way more musical. Because what I'm playing from a melodic perspective fits over the chords, right? And that's why the melody and the harmony work well together. All right, so that is a great tip that I can give you today, is learn how to use chord tones in your soloing so that you can adapt the way that you use the scale based on the chord that you're playing over. Now, what I've actually got is, I've got a series of lessons where we're going deeper about this kind of thing as it relates to using chord tones, and in some backing track videos where you can actually see how the chords change and what the kind of notes are that you need to use and that you can actually land on over those chord changes. So if you'd like to get that 100% free of charge when you become a free member of GuitarSkills.com, there's a link in the description box. Just click that link and then you're going to get an email that'll give you all of these downloads so that you can go ahead and practice the chord tones. And I went quite fast with this lesson, but we're also going to break down that exact solo. You'll have tabs of that. And then we'll also talk about the concept behind chord tone targeting. That's all available to GuitarSkills.com members, and you get access to that today free of charge. So if you'd like your solos to sound more musical and sound less like scales, then that is going to be of much use to you. So go ahead, click that link, and I'll see you on the next page, and I'll send you all of the download links so that you can go ahead and improve your soloing abilities.